Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And Coca-Cola wants its employees to stop being so white.
Yeah, I know. How do you do that?
Stop being so white, you racist Coke employees. This is part of their diversity and inclusion training. Training. We're gonna talk about that because I think we've kind of reached kind of peak stupidity with this sort of thing. I don't even know how you stop being less white.
I don't know. I mean, and if you do, are you going to be accused of cultural appropriation or stereotyping?
That is true. So I pulled this up because I wish they did Final Fantasy Coke commercials.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And that's really fun. But Zidane is too white too. Actually, this is coming from the Federalist. We're going to talk about it, that there was somebody pointing out that Coke, during their diversity and inclusion training, was telling people to stop being so white. So before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 177,000 subs, hoping for 200,000 soon. And we do talk mostly about pop culture. Coke is a huge part of pop culture. Coke products are served at fast food restaurants and theme parks and movie theaters all over the country.
No, I am not a fan of Coke. However,
I've got Coke right here.
You're drinking
literally
Coke.
right here.
You need to stop being so white when you drink that Coke.
Orange Coke is very white. It is a white man's drink.
It's orange vanilla.
Oh no, it's vanilla.
It's just funny to me because I'm this is like peak idiocy, and I'm like, meanwhile, Coke, you started out as a quote unquote beverage or medicine that had cocaine in it.
Well, it was too white.
I guess they got rid of the white a long time ago.
They took the white out of it. The Coca-Cola polar bears are also too white.
They're also white.
Well, no. Now, here's the thing. Here's the truth about polar bears. They're white on the outside, but they're black underneath.
That is true.
That
is true. Their skin is actually black.
That is true. So anyway, we're going to talk about this and what happens when diversity and inclusion training goes too far. This is, of course, is a buzzword now.
I can't even.
This is a buzzword now. Diversity and inclusion, I guess, is buzzwords. A lot of companies are doing training now in the wake of BLM. And some of the training, I think, is okay. I think it's good, but,
Yeah, but put yourself in their shoes training. Like, try to see it from their point of view and understand that, if you were this person, how would you feel? I agree with. The whole empathetic, put yourself in their shoes thing, I agree with. Basically saying you're too white, stop being white.
Why don't you
tell minorities to be more white?
Well, here's the thing, because what they do is they actually, and this is during a Coke presentation, apparently, they're actually bringing up personality traits of white people that are negative.
This is insulting.
We're getting there.
Are they going to tell people to be less, gay or less, male or female or less non-binary or less whatever? No, it's just being white. Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna go down the hole here. So this is coming from the Federalist. Was posted on Twitter by Carlin Supports Banning Critical Race Theory. So there you go, Dr. Carlin B. Coca-Cola has used a training video by anti-racist activist Robin DiAngelo that tells employees to try to be less white, according to unwoke activist Carlin Borisenko, based on information from what she says is a company whistleblower. Borisenko is a psychologist, YouTuber, and creator of Zen Workplace.
Sorry for saying your name wrong.
This is the first time I've ever heard
You're a terrible name.
I'm really bad with names.
We admit it.
They put a video out of the training online. They said that they often speak out against critical race theory and corporate race training, which was at one point banned and now it's unbanned.
Right. So I love this, but if you try to be less whatever, you'll be accused of everything else under the sun. So
we'll go to these screenshots here in a minute.
I'm just like, why would you even think this is okay? Okay.
The 49-minute training video by DiAngelo, author of the book White Fragility, is titled.
Oh, okay.
That explains everything.
Yes.
Is titled Confronting Racism. Right away, the course establishes that all white people are born racist. They're not anti-racist babies. Right.
That's a load of shit. Because it's not something that you're born at, something that's learned behavior. It's not something, nobody's born racist. You're only born with two fears, and it's literally the fear of falling and the fear of loud sounds.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's what our teacher told us.
Not even deaf? Well, you probably don't get the concept.
Understand it.
Okay, so nothing exempts any white person from the forces of racism, says DiAngelo, when you accept the reality of your socialization, you can begin to examine how you've been shaped by it. In the U.S. and other Western nations, white people are socialized to feel that they are inherently superior because they're white.
I have never been taught that I'm superior because I'm white.
Research shows that by ages 3 to 4, children understand that it's better to be white.
According to what?
According to research.
Okay.
Employees are told in the "What can you do" section that to be less white.
Okay.
Not less racist, but to be
I love
less white.
what these are, because they're doing most of these.
Right. Be less oppressive.
As they're being oppressive.
Be less arrogant.
As they're saying people are arrogant without proof.
Be less certain.
Wait, be less certain? You're working for a company and they want you to be less certain?
I would not.
How do you be less certain if you're working for a company?
I would not want a manager or a vice president or any kind of decision maker to be less certain.
So wait, does that mean that only people that are not white can be decision makers, because otherwise they're the only ones that have that are certain about things? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Be less defensive.
Yeah, as you get defensive about people being white.
Be less arrogant.
This list.
Be more humble.
What, isn't that the same thing?
Listen, believe.
I have heard some people that are not white be extremely arrogant and not humble. But what about that?
Break with apathy. Break with white solidarity. What?
This is a load of shit. Who writes this crap? So this person is going to tell everybody else about how to be against racism, and we're born racist, and how we need to be not racist, because if you're white, you're automatically born racist. What does she look like? Oh, look, she was born racist.
Oh, okay. This happens often.
I would have bet money it was a white woman.
Okay.
I would have.
Before I pulled up
her, bet money.
Before I pulled up her picture, you said, "I bet it's a white woman," telling other people not to be racist.
Right. Yes.
And sure enough, academic Robin DiAngelo is a white woman telling other people not to be racist. This is probably the same person,
one of those types of people that tell people they shouldn't be racist or automatically racist if you're white. And if you point out they have a lot of friends that aren't white, it's just because that's tokenism, as they're saying tokenism's bad.
Yeah.
So if they have friends that are if she has friends that aren't white, is it token friends?
I don't know. If I were, not white, and that surprises people that I'm white. But if I were not, and I had this woman speaking on my behalf, I would be a little angry.
Yeah, I would be too.
I would be like, you could let us speak for ourselves, there, academic white woman. That would be a first step in combating racism. Yeah, I mean, not everybody's happy about her being kind of, because I've heard of the book. I assumed it was a black author.
So this person is a white person, and that's why she gets to tell white people what they should and shouldn't think, because she's a white person, telling them what they should and shouldn't think, and how they should treat people that aren't white because she's white.
Yeah,
Can we just end the stupidity now?
And this is a bestseller. So we've got a white academic talking about racial issues to other white people and getting herself to the top of the New York Times bestseller list.
Mm-hmm.
You don't find anything weird about that?
You need to be less arrogant and be more humble and all that stuff. And she was obviously born racist.
Right. Right.
So,
Yeah. So why would you listen to her? Why would you listen to her at all? The training includes a racial resentment section. Any moment of black advancement is met with a backlash of white rage and resentment, says the white woman.
Uh-huh.
I think we're at a current moment that after 8 years of Obama, DiAngelo goes on to say that white people resent affirmative action, which she describes as a toothless program we've practically dismantled.
Well, affirmative action was actually insulting to people that weren't white, honestly. But anyway.
Yeah. So when DiAngelo hears white people say, and she herself is white, let's point that out.
Yes.
I was taught to treat everyone the same.
Because I was.
She said she thinks to herself, this person doesn't understand basic socialization. This person doesn't understand culture. This person is not self-aware.
Oh my God, that's so coincidental. Because I was thinking the exact same damn thing about her. And I can say that because she's white.
You can say whatever you want to say about her.
I was thinking the exact same things. Oh my gosh, she's reading my mind, but I was talking about her.
Being nice to black people is not enough. Niceness is not courageous. Niceness is not anti-racism. She informs listeners if they are merely nice, then they're advancing a racist system that increases racial disparity. She got herself to the top of the New York Times bestseller list, writing a book about racism, and here she is, just putting it out there.
What are you supposed to do? Be mean?
Because that's in your nature. I can't even
wrap my head around the stupidity here. And Coca-Cola brought this person in?
Yeah, so people said
why didn't they just bring somebody who's actually, a minority in to talk about minority issues? And because I'm like, I would see it from, you want to look at it from their point of view. Well, she can't look at it from their point of view because she isn't fucking black or Hispanic or anything. She's white.
I shouldn't be surprised anymore, but 95% of the time, it winds up being a white woman that whacks the beehive and causes problems for literally everybody else.
Wait, it gets better. DiAngelo's course could open Coca-Cola to a slew of lawsuits by employees who suspect they were denied promotions, bonuses, and other opportunities due to their skin color, which no one should be. And I would say that for anyone. The thing is, when you believe in, equality, that means you believe in equality. It doesn't mean you believe in, just like the reverse of what it is. That just means you believe in equality. I believe in treating people the same. I believe, we were raised at a time, which she looks like she's older than us, so she would have been around. That, some of the biggest shows on TV were shows that were not by white people. And, you went to school with a bunch of people, that were different minority groups. And, you were the minority.
I was actually, one
cared.
Well, I went to high school in the Bay Area. There were a couple classes I was in. I was like one of like 5 white kids.
Yeah, nobody cared.
Nobody cared. Most of my friends were Korean.
I mean, I taught in schools and stuff that, that there was a lot of kids that were diverse, different, and people got along. I mean, there was issues occasionally, but nobody cared.
But to get yourself to the top of the New York Times bestseller list,
you have to step on some minorities to get there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You do. You gotta step on.
But she needs to. What's the list again? Go back to the list as she said in her thing. She needs to be less oppressive by telling everybody else how to be when she is white. She needs to be less arrogant by telling everybody else how to be when she's white. She needs to be less certain that her points are the correct ones because she's white, and by her own argument, she shouldn't be certain about her points at all. Should be less defensive by blaming it all on everybody else because she's white. She should be less arrogant, thinking that she should go to Coca-Cola and tell everybody else how to be when she is white. Tell people how to be less white when she herself is white. She maybe needs to be more humble by going there and telling everybody, hey, I'm white, you're white. Let me tell you how you could be less white, and I'm going to speak for everybody who's not white when I'm white. Maybe she's listening to those people. Believe in the people that aren't white. Maybe she needs to break with her apathy towards her situation.
Well, I don't think she's very apathetic because I think she's making a lot of money off those book sales and these seminars. It can be verified. People said bullshit. Coke isn't teaching this. It's on LinkedIn. It's right there.
Yeah.
The Coke icon's in the top right-hand corner with some of the images because they're using the LinkedIn content for their internal platform.
They actually have them, guys.
So it's not fake. There's the Coke logo because they logged in.
So Coca-Cola, for those with discrimination, you say discriminating taste, but you can just end it with discrimination.
If you have discriminating taste, you should drink Pepsi.
I guess. You need to be less white because our product is.
Yeah.
What else? We can get some slogans. I'm trying to think of some old Coca-Cola campaigns.
Just be less.
Coca-Cola, be less. That's right.
That's Coca-Cola's new product is Coke less. It's like new Coke, but not.
Coca-Cola, when you want to fight racism with somebody who's the antithesis of, I mean, like, you're fighting racism with a white person. I mean, I'm just like,
isn't it though? Like, look, I'm not trying to generalize, okay? But we've been doing these kinds of videos about this kind of corporate stupidity for like 4 years now. 95% of the time, it winds up being a white woman telling everybody else what to do. Mm-hmm. I am not wrong.
No, it usually does.
Whether it's in gaming, whether it's a journalist, whether it's people in comics, whether it's movie studios and all that shit, at 95% of the time, it is a white woman telling other people and speaking on behalf of other people instead of practicing what they preach.
Look, nobody's born racist. You're molded by your experiences and how you were raised and what happens to you and what you're taught and what you see. Nobody's born this way. It's like, wasn't that amazing that only white people come out born racist? I mean, how come on, really? People there, and there's some societies that are very racist, and it's accepted. And other society, hey, we had to change things for China. I'm not saying everybody is, but they made changes on the Star Wars poster, John Boyega's parts for China. I'm just like, racism is out there, 100%. There are racist people out there, 100%. Are they always white people? No. And saying that it is bullshit and makes you kind of racist by definition. But racism is bullshit. Don't be a dick. Don't be racist. It's not that hard. Can I have the money from Coke now?
There you go. That's your TED Talk.
Here, I'll just update. Try to be less white. I would say, try to be more understanding. Try to be, try to step out of what you know and try to see things from other people's perspectives. I wouldn't say try to be less white. I'd be like, try to be, more understanding, more receptive to other people's, ideas, and understand that not everybody comes from the same place as you. This white privilege thing is a load of shit too. I mean, are there people that are privileged? Yes, but are they all white people? No. And I'm like, if all white people were privileged, then explain to me why my dad grew up so poor that he had to eat ketchup and sugar sandwiches. And he's white. Please explain. I mean, he's so privileged. It's like, it's a load of crap. I mean, do some people get that extra things because of their race? Yes. Is it okay? No, it's not okay. And I think most people will agree with that. But you don't have a white woman telling you how to be less white with a list of things that she herself is not doing because by her own definition, she's not certain, nor she needs to be less certain, and she was born a racist.
How arrogant is that?
Well, you have to be less arrogant. To be less white.
How arrogant and privileged is that to speak on behalf of minorities about issues affecting minorities when you yourself were in the group you said is causing the problem?
Hey, I've met some minority people that are arrogant. I've met some minority people who are privileged. I have met some minority people that fall into every one of these things that she's saying about. It is not this is stupid. That's like saying everybody who's one color is born one way and everybody's other color is born another. You aren't born that way. Nobody
racist,
is.
Isn't it racist
Nobody
to say
is.
Everybody's,
Is society shape people to be a certain way? That I will agree with.
Yeah.
But are you born this way? Hell no. Nobody's born this way. Come on.
Well, that's that. And there won't be any more children born this way because we've got books like Anti-Racist Baby to make sure if you read your kid Anti-Racist Baby, they will not be racist.
Meanwhile, our daughter always got along with, she always got along with everyone. Always. And she always had friends that were not white. Always. And when we went to anime cons, we took her. There was people that were dressed that were not white, dressed as white characters, and she didn't care. She was excited. All she saw was the character, which is as it should be, and wanted her picture taken with them. She didn't stop and say, "Well, I can't take a picture with you because you're not, because Draculaura is really pale and you're a black lady." She was just like, "It's Draculaura and her costume's amazing. Can I get my picture with you?" And she didn't even see it as anything other than the character, which is what you should look at it as. But no, she was born racist because this lady says so.
I've never thought about politics or race or as much as I have the last couple of years because they keep bringing it up. Like we keep bringing, and look, again, not saying there aren't issues. God knows we've got enough issues, but we're making issues where there aren't any for the sake of, I think.
Which makes more issues and makes division problems worse. This is not helping the situation.
No, I mean,
it's just causing more frustration, and then they'll say, "Oh, it's because of your white fragility." It's because you're full of shit, telling everybody how to be less racist as you're a white person telling them this.
You come to me with again, like you want to do corporate training and you want other people to empathize. You come to me with somebody who's got firsthand accounts.
Yeah, and let them explain what it's like.
And let them explain what it's like.
Yes, and then say, "Here's why it matters," and let me tell you what happened to me. And that's a great idea.
That's what I thought it was at first. I'm like, well, this book must be kind of because I've seen it. It's at Walmart. All the Karens are buying it. I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe this is just somebody's personal. No.
You have to make sure you take selfies with it so everybody knows.
So everybody knows you're not racist buying this white woman's book about racism. God, Coke. But, Coke's about the whitest drink out there. Especially the vanilla Coke I'm drinking right now.
Right, because how dare they use the term vanilla?
I'm also wearing socks with my sandals.
He is actually.
So
that's why we take our shoes off in the studio so we don't make it dirty.
It's muddy. It's muddy and yuck.
We live in a place that gets yucky and muddy.
So our Japanese studio.
They use font that's white.
That is a white font.
How dare they?
Polar bears are too white.
I am triggered because the font is white, and that just means that Coca-Cola stands for racism. Clearly,
that's right. They do. I can't.
Why did you pay this person for this?
I don't know.
Here's the idea, Coke. Why didn't you hire an actual minority person who's going out there to try to teach people about minorities so they can have the money instead of giving it to the privileged white person?
You've got years, a history of having like celebrity endorsements of Coca-Cola products. You could have literally picked anybody else off the street to promote Coke that actually was a minority that could tell you about their own personal experiences instead of picking this white woman to tell other people what to do.
People need things they can relate to and understand. Just a white woman preaching at them to be less white isn't going to do it.
I can't. Oh my God. Anti-racist Karen.
I don't know. They are not the tastemakers, and like I said, they are for discriminating tastes, obviously.
Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know if there's going to be any blowback or not. I think it's just a case of these companies now, they're freaking the hell out. They're like, quick guys, you got to do something so we don't look racist. Let's do our diversity and inclusion. That's like we used to have fire drills at the one company I worked at. Like, I worked in the office. I wasn't going to have to probably bust out the fire extinguisher, but we all had to have training in how to break windows and all this other crap. But they do it because they have to do it because it's mandated. I think it's just a case of like, we got to do something that's anti-racist, quick.
But if it's mandated and you want to do something that's anti-racist, then you want to prove a point about racism and white privilege, you don't hire the white person and pay them a bunch of money.
I know.
To do your seminar. I'm just, call me crazy. That kind of sends the wrong message.
Too logical.
If you're going to be serious about this message.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this stupidity up.
Yes.
All right, so we'll talk to you guys later. I think maybe we'll go buy some Pepsi.
I don't drink Coke anyway because I don't like it. I know Sprite's not bad.
It's too white. It's too white for you.
That's right.